Hey, we were going to talk to you this afternoon about the government's white paper released on Tuesday, for those of you who don't know, entitled Fixing Our Broken Housing Market. I've read it. It's a 104-page document. You can see it's a fairly weighty tome. I think I'm right in saying that you've read it.
Yep.
Did you find it as exciting as me?
Amazing. So good.
Superb. Fantastic. So this is what we were going to discuss this afternoon. It's titled Fixing Our Broken Housing Market. I think we both feel that it should be called Thinking of Fixing Our Broken Housing Market, because there actually isn't really anything of substance in this document. It doesn't tell us anything really about what's going to be done. There's lots and lots of thoughts about what might be done. So we're not going to discuss that.
Money well spent.
Instead, what we did, we went to an ARLA meeting on Monday. ARLA, for those of you that don't know, is the Association of Residential Letting Agents. This was a meeting specifically just before the white paper was issued to try and get an inside track of what was going on. And whilst the white paper was discussed, there were also some other interesting points that came out of that meeting. For me, one of the things that was quite interesting was the potential changes to be made with regards to electrical testing.
Yeah, it's a long time coming as far as I'm concerned to finally get some clarification. Hopefully it'll be enforced within the next year or so, in terms of landlords being obliged to have electrical safety checks carried out at their property to ensure the safety.
It should be the same as gas safety, shouldn't it?
It should be. It should be. You know, landlords are obliged to ensure the property is safe, but landlords are not obliged to have the only test that can tell you if the electrics are safe or not. It's been too messy for too long, and it's about time that they did something about it.
So our impression from the discussions we had this week that is going to change. It's probably not going to change this year. It'll probably be sometime into next year, but it'll be a good positive change. We were also talking about the potential of longer term tenancies being introduced as a result of this white paper and previous conversations the government have had. No numbers have been put out there, but we're thinking they're probably going to talk about 5-year tenancies. As you're probably aware, at the moment you can do up to 3. All my years in the business, I have yet to have been asked for a tenancy even as high as for 2 years. So for us, in this area, this location, the type of business we're doing, we don't see it as a problem. Clearly some people in some parts of the country must be having a problem, otherwise I guess the government wouldn't be talking about it. Or perhaps it's because they're trying to get the institutional investors into the marketplace who would find such a tenancy attractive. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, we've discussed this one before, and there's too much risk really for your average private landlord, 1 or 2 properties, to tie someone into 3 to 5 year tenancy straight off the bat is phenomenal. There's no way that it should be done. But they do appear to be leaning towards wanting to bring in an institutional landlord. In what guise, I don't know. You know, referring back to the paper that's on the floor, you know, they seem quite keen for that, but I don't see how they're going to incentivise those institutional landlords with some of the things that they're thinking about proposing.
No, it doesn't seem to work. The other thing that we talked about, something very near and dear to our heart, as you can imagine, which was the estate agents fees ban. Various ideas were thrown around on Monday in terms of what the government are and are not thinking, and at the moment they're not saying anything to anybody, so we don't know what they're thinking. So we're all left to guess. It does seem that any ban is unlikely to come into the marketplace until at least 2018, possibly April, possibly October of that year. There is a possibility that it could happen this year, but it's looking unlikely. So for those of us that need to take that into our planning, we're thinking 2018. Interesting though to hear some of the things that are being said, wasn't it? Some of the things that hadn't been considered. Because fees were banned in Scotland in 1984. They were re-banned in 2012 because their original ban hadn't been effective and hadn't worked very well. So when they got round to banning them, the amount of fees that were being charged and the range of fees that were being charged was fairly minimal. So actually the actual impact there was far less than the impact it would have here.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing here. The government in Scotland did have an initial ban in 1984. There were too many loopholes, you know, in that ban, and agents were able to carry on as they were largely until the reinforcement of that ban in 2012. Despite what we've read in terms of, you know, government analysis, press analysis, after the actions that were taken in 2012, rents did climb. People will speculate for the various reasons as to that, but you can't deny that fees were subsidised into rents, and tenants did pay eventually. For me personally, there's a lot of work that goes in, not just for landlords but for tenants as well, and I think to not be able to charge tenants for the service we give is ludicrous.
Yeah, perfect example we had today. A tenant rang, wanted to have a copy of their AST. We said, yeah, fine, not a problem at all. We've reprinted and supplied that tenant with that document free of charge. He had the document in his hands within 10 minutes of making the phone call. But we should be able to charge for that. We could charge for that. We choose not to. That's not the case with a lot of agents out there. A lot of agents would have charged for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, just nuts. So, watch this space. We'll keep you in touch with what's going on as and when we hear about it, and anything important, we'll let you know. Thanks for listening. Sound like Sheldon doing history of flags.
Bazinga! Hi.
So, guess we're on then. Yeah. See, I keep on to say good afternoon.
Yeah.
What's good afternoon instead of good afternoon?
Hi. What's happening? What? Oh, what? Shit, I'm not going to be your girlfriend.